So it's just like Evil Ore meets Big Gold Boy, and both are hard.
What is Big Gold Boy?
Big
It's
Old
like a
Boy
workshop
is
puzzle?
Big Old Boy is
It's
a
a workshop.
workshop puzzle that's purified gold, but I think you'll get thrown 4 sticks of 8 lead at once.
Yeah. So max throughput actually drops a gold every second cycle in Big Gold Boy, and you just have to. It's the most expensive solution I've ever built. That was also a record at 6,700 gold or something.
Oh wow, 67. More expensive than your
It
full
was-
throughput ELU?
Oh, true. That was 15,000, but I forgot about that.
Yeah. Anyways, let's make sure I'm recording and let's start this weekly review. So this puzzle is my puzzle. It is crystal compression with one of the worst inputs possible, resonant crystal. And basically what you have to do is to take the crystal and compress it. That's it sounds fairly simple, but the bonds on this input are very annoying to debond, and they're all bunched up together. So
When the crystal is compressed, bottom text.
Yes. So the metrics for this week are latency and area, and area is kind of obvious, a bit of an obvious choice because of how large the input is, and latency is, I chose it mostly because cycles is a bit too demanding on this puzzle, so I chose latency. Throughput is, I guess, a bit too easy for this, and I chose latency because it's really, really non-trivial, but it's not as bad at cycles. It's still pretty difficult.
I mean,
it's still really, really difficult,
Latency,
though.
as defined, is the timing of the first output produced without any other consideration. It's just once an output drops on cycle n, your score in that category is n.
Basically, just try to get one output as fast as possible.
Yeah. Having like throughput would probably be is actually probably very easy, isn't it? It's just like split the thing up into like a billion pipelines.
Or bond like 4 inputs together and do the biggie thing.
Yeah. Anyways, let me try to find Steven's
What are these chopping
solution
noises?
Enough, are we picking up a chopping or a cutting board sound from your mic?
I don't think it's from my side.
It's Abonovia.
Sorry,
Maybe like activate push reserve or something.
I really feel new myself.
But yeah, as usual, we'll be starting with Steven solve. New solution, 1 copy.
Classic. The
2,703 area.
Are we looking at area or latency solves first?
Latency solves. This is a latency solve. It isn't last place though, but it's last place while disregarding the area solves. You know how there is 19 copper per input? What if you only use 1?
This is incredible. Good job, Steven.
I love how cleanly it like debonds everything and just sticks that remaining copper on. Okay, let's watch it like actually do this part. Nope. Catch up. It's lagging because of the ever-growing copper stick at 2 area per cycle.
Imagine
because I can't finish running this. I tried before like the stream started, and I can only run one output without lag.
I definitely like it. I mean, no one else would ever come up with a solution quite like that, would they?
Yeah.
We are blessed on this Steven day.
Yep.
When the solution gains 2 area per cycle.
2 area per cycle isn't that bad, but like it still lags to solve a lot for some reason. time to watch it in slow motion. It just hands this copper in this chain of 2 arms all the way up around.
Pieces.
Make 2 silver. Does it do all the silver on the bottom? It does do all the silver on the bottom. And then
I also like how it bonds all the similar metals together for
Yeah.
no reason.
with
I mean, that helps the conditional happen.
with Steven Solves, it's like, because of the amount of steps you have to do, he usually does it through multiple arms of very few, in a pretty small loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steven designs completely conditional machines like it's the most natural thing to do, and I'm in awe.
Yeah. But yeah, that's this week's Steven Solve. Moving on to our... Oh, whoops, I misaligned this on OBS. Moving on, we have... If I can grab the parser. That's a area solve, that's an area solve, that's an area solve, that's my solve. Okay, I'll show my solve.
Oof.
This is my solve, which is not optimized for anything. This is just my solve to playtest the puzzle.
It's a nice layout you got there. I like
Nice
that.
sum solve you made there.
Oh, but this is way too slow for a sum solve. Actually, we do have a sum solve from Zorflax, but
It looks like a sum solve,
it's
but it's
also
way too slow.
Yeah, it's also way too slow for a sum solve. There's an actual sum solve by Zorflax that came up in the Weeklies chat. Well, the weekly our weekly committee chat. I can probably go try to find that after the stream. Or like after.
So is this just like a just solve the puzzle solve, or what is this?
Yes, this is a just.
This is the proof that it can be done solve, isn't it? This is your proof that it can be done solve.
Yes, but like I don't think this puzzle in particular needs any proof, but I just wanted to like do the puzzle.
Latency can be less than 200, everyone.
Oof.
Yeah, this is 151 latency.
What is less than the area
Steven solve
solve?
was 341.
Alright, so current tracklist instruction record for this puzzle is something 100, 200 instructions. What is this?
No idea. Because it's not.
I imagine
written on
arms
my
3
parser.
and 4 both have quite a lot of activities, so
Yeah.
maybe closer to.
Maybe ARM 3 and ARM 4 can be made conditional, but eh. There we go. Okay, now moving on to real latency solves. We'll be starting with Genius 42 in 8th place. Well, because there aren't that many submitters, so this is 8th place already. With
That's not bad, is it?
with a latency of 42.
Yeah, I thought I started at 44. I got down to 42, and I thought, well, yeah, I'll leave it at that because I like the number 40.
Nice.
And I think if I tripled it or something, it might be possible to bring it down even more. But I just couldn't really fit everything in. So it's quite small, you see, as well, compared to what I'm expecting from others.
Yeah, this is a very simple method of disassembling the thing with two purifiers.
So I did start out with something completely different, but I deleted it in disgust, and then I started again and did this.
Hey, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, because the one I made before this was actually latency of 44, and then I created this, but it had latency of 43 because one of the arms was just a 3-arm, and I thought, oh wait a minute, I can do a 6-arm and get the gold one closer sooner. So and then it's 42. So yeah, I thought, I'm expecting the best of at least half of this, but we'll see.
Yeah, this is a very clean method of just
Yeah, I thought it's quite
debonding
clean
it,
and
except it's only
effective. Yeah,
debonding 1/3 at a time, which makes it kind of
yeah, only just 1/3 at a time,
So-
really. So yeah, I didn't expect it to be, a winner by any state of mind, but I thought, 42, it looks quite smooth. I'll go with that.
it's 42.
Exactly.
I feel like you have more of a right to 42 than I do now. You've built the 42.
Yeah, because I think 2 weeks ago I had a 42 area.
Mm.
The optimum was like 33 or something, but I had a 42.
Doesn't hurt that you're British too, where the Hitchhiker's Guide takes place.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, next up is in 7th place, Purple Mouse with a latency of 40.
Also 42.
Not 40, just 40.
Oh,
This is also kind of doing a third at a time, but I guess
In parallel.
in parallel, yeah. It's debonding a third at a time, but it's processing it faster than a third at a time.
However, when you do things in parallel, then there's the time it takes to merge it all back together, and that eats up basically all the efficiency you did get from putting all the glyphs in different places.
Yeah, so the challenge about latency in this solution is 1, how to debond everything efficiently, 2, where you're going to place all the purification glyphs so that you can send the purified metals to the bonded output as quickly as possible. That's what makes this week's latency really difficult in particular. I guess this could be considered easy to solve and difficult to optimize. But like,
Yep.
very, very difficult to optimize.
It's not actually easy to solve though.
I mean, it is compared to like, I don't know, refined bronze.
Yeah, compared to refined bronze maybe, but like compared to like most of like the entire campaign.
It's the campaign is easy if you're
Yes,
compared to.
I
any
know.
tournament
Campaign is like
puzzle.
trivial, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you
Only-
really want it, you could
Only
take
like
it
the
apart
last
one
3
by
campaign
one and then
puzzles
put
get
it together.
difficult compared to
Yeah,
the
put it together
tournament
one by one, but
puzzles.
that's like ages.
Yeah, so it is relatively straightforward. You just purify the outside.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you a prescriptive approach to doing it, and then asks you to do it quickly, and you break a little.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on, we take quite a bit of drop in latency. Where next is Fuyuno Kaze in 6th place at 22.
That's more like what I was expecting.
Yep.
Where you get the tryhards here out.
Yep. So yeah, this is looking like I'll probably be tagging through this then. 2 debonds, separating in half, and then separating that. Oh, the triple pivot, nice.
yeah, the triple pivot and then just like having 6 arms grab at the same time.
So one thing that you really get used to when you build lots of monstrous solutions is the fact that there are like arm islands and atom islands.
Yeah.
Areas where you will never put an arm because stuff will crash, and areas where you put all of your arms because you're kind of committed to arms there.
So like, there's kind of like 2 paths, one in the upper path and one in the bottom path. How many go on the top path? Also, what cycles does it have all the gold by? It spends 6, 7, 8, 7 cycles without any metals appearing. And guys, all the gold at cycle 14.
But the positions are pretty distant from each
Yeah.
other.
So it takes a while to like combine them together and then send to the output. Oh, Zorflex is here.
Zorflex is in the wind.
He's wearing his stuff from the fader mask.
Yeah, Zorflex, we're getting a lot of wind noise from your end.
Yeah.
Can you like use push to talk on your side if that's possible?
But yeah, this is the one of the first try-hard latency solves, and you can start to see how difficult it's going to be. Like this one probably mostly optimizes on how to debond it quickly and has less consideration about how to quickly get the purified metals onto the output.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Yeah, you need to strike a balance between every step of the process, because if one is slow, that's just where all your cycles come from.
but yeah, and with this method, there are 3 people that have gotten 22 latency. This one is at 1185 gold, and next up in 5th place is Mr. Puzzle at 1155 gold, also at 22 latency.
Yeah.
In 5th place. Oh.
Beautiful.
I like this approach. 3 unbonders. How many was the last one? Let me check that first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bonders compared to this one with
When the answer to the question of how many arms is yes.
This one has the arms and the track to make up the cost that it saved on the debonders.
Yep. Let's watch it run through first. This also makes it possible to like place the purification clips all really close to each other. So I guess this optimizes for that instead of like maximum debonding speed. Also, it does this.
Yeah, I wanted to make it loop nice. That's arm 20. His only job is to make it loop nice.
Arm 22? Oh wait, arm 20. What's that?
Oh, so you use a second input just for the center, and I see.
Ah.
Yeah, and arm 19 winds up holding something, so gotta balance it. Law of equivalence exchange or some other meme.
Yeah, I did wonder how many people would use multiple inputs to get to the output.
Yeah.
My first one tried to, but it was a complete disaster. That's why I deleted it.
Multiple inputs is quite an interesting choice because latency is long enough that you can possibly grab another input. It's just, it may not be the fastest, but it can help with...
Yeah, the limiting part of this is to get gold, which takes 12 copper all with debond, so you can prove that the minimum possible if you did everything like with quantum tracks effectively is 13. But then there's a question, how close to that do you actually get? Because geometry and moving things past other things is a big deal.
It's how much you can unbond or bond in one move, isn't there?
I mean, you can hold lots of bonded pieces at the same time and move them onto a debonder and then have individual control over each atom. But you'd have to slide the entire time you were holding a lot of things, and you have to spend all the space for the tracks and the arms.
Yeah.
This puzzle's good because it's doing exactly that, but the tracks and the arms are out of the way of all the machinery.
One arm path. Then yeah, that's probably the way.
Everything's going on over here in the center, which makes moving things around less painful. Yeah, congratulations on getting 5th place. And next up is also at 22 latency, Cuckoo52, with a cost of 1050. Right.
So where it spawns you is the center of the bounding box of the solution.
Yes, which means there's this. Oh right, I might have left calcification in. That's extra expense, but it doesn't really matter for Cuckoo 52 because they're the last of the 22 latencies. Well, they're the first place in the 22 latencies. But yeah, seeing how far away that is. There's nothing on the other side, by the way. I checked. Multiple
This
inputs.
is like 2 inputs. Yeah. Oh, 3 inputs.
3
Hell yeah.
inputs. And it starts swinging everything.
Glorious.
So that's the right way to do the waste chain. Yeah, because my first one had it, but it was all colliding, and I just deleted it. It's disgusting with myself.
I like how all 3 approaches to 22 latency are fundamentally different. One
Yeah,
is
this feels like
now it's
this feels like the triple tie at the cycles on bonders at 52, where they weren't doing the same thing. They just all found the same number.
yeah. This the first one is maximize debonding. The second one is maximize purification to output. This one is
Maximize input.
yeah.
My area.
Yeah, this probably has
Just
more area than
maximize
Steven. No,
input.
no, this does not have more area than Steven's solution, unfortunately. Steven's solution is 2700. This one is 2416.
Nice.
I mean,
Ended off.
Steven's solution also uses less atoms of the input, so...
Yeah, but this kind of just swings everything everywhere. Well, time to check out what it actually does instead of just looking at the waste chain. It takes...
It gets 6 atoms from each of the inputs, except for whichever one it takes the center out of.
Let's see which one it does that.
The first to the left.
Oh, it grabs that pretty early, actually. Yeah, unfortunately, this one is a bit slow. I guess that's the one coming from the third input. Yeah. Which, since it is the third input, that makes it a lot slower. So it's kind of limited on that one. But yeah, this is quite an Also, I like how the waste chain goes over the input, right? Yeah, it pulls an extra input for the waste chain.
I love it.
Like, the only purpose of this input grab here is to waste chain. Nice.
It just throws away an entire input, just so throwing away stuff is easier.
Well, I mean,
The only-
yeah, the metric is latency. After you output the first thing, any other input grab isn't important, but it makes it real clean. And I
Once
guess
you've outputted,
it also reduces the
you-
cost. I guess.
exactly, you're trying to make sure that the next you can complete the solution, adding as little cost as possible to your one output.
Yeah. Next up, we take a drop of 3 latency down to Ebanov in third place with 19. And cheaper still, actually, at 1000 gold.
The dubiosity got to Ebanov as well.
Yeah. This is a very compact layout of bonders and unbonders.
I really like where I see the input being grabbed. I assume the first 2 moves will be the kind I like. Let's watch.
First 2 moves.
Oh, it's different than on mine.
What is that debonding pattern? This here is a weird shape. With
It's prioritizing breaking the bonds on the atoms that have 3 bonds.
Yeah. Pretty
That
cool.
way you don't have anything left with 3 bonds on it, and then the next one you want to break as many of them as possible down to 2 or 1. But it's slightly different than I thought.
Yeah. And this side has to regrab. And it pivots everything. there's a few with 2 left. With with 1 bond left. Does those. And that's 1, 2, and 3 gold at cycle 11.
There aren't very many bonders, though. The assembly process, given what's been started, is not as fast as it. It's like it's basically punting the difficulty to assembly and then coming up short on that way.
Yeah. Bond. Yeah, the assembly is kind of slow. It has to. One, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, so it seems like I would guess this was targeting 14 or 15, and then realized in the process of assembling, this just can't happen with my layout, and I can't redesign.
It's
And that's what I spent a week feeling.
it's just like good cycles goal solve, but not worrying about the fact that you would have to deal with the next input coming into the area.
Yeah.
Like, because if there was a cycle solve, then it would like crash the second the next input is pulled, because all the atoms, there are still many atoms in the way of that.
Yeah, I mean that's leaning into the latency as a metric. You just don't take another input.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Also, yeah, as Biggie probably feels very strongly with this week, this puzzle is very not a perfectionist.
Yeah, even the name
Favorable.
that the name that Evanov gave of Too Dubious, I can tell from that and this attempt is that there was a lot lower in mind, and it just couldn't be completed with a week, and probably couldn't be completed in a lifetime.
Yeah, but this is only 3rd place, and people have improved. This is 19 latency, and coming up, we have in 2nd place, Biggie Mac.
I was wondering. All right,
At
cool,
16
cool.
latency.
So 16 didn't win it, or at least not at the cost I used. My title was wrong. Oh no,
Oh, oof.
I get burned.
Ace.
I'm gonna type,
Not to win it. Oh,
Oh, no.
I'm gonna type F in chat.
Wait,
F.
let me if I can type correctly. Yeah, oh, that is a mess of bonders and debonders everywhere.
Yes, pretty
It's
much
smaller
just
than I
chaos.
thought it would be, to be honest. I was expecting
Chaos.
something
This
bigger
is a
than that.
chaos.
You can't let it get too big because then the distance traveled for the final steps is impossible.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I targeted 16 and I eventually hit 16 after some redesigns.
I like how there's a
I
multi.
bet the winner's also 16, but one gold, well, 5 gold cheaper or something.
That's entirely possible. Yeah, we'll see. So when I saw the first motion on Ebanov's solution, I thought it was this because that
You
specific
swing
grab
through.
point lets you swing out of 8 atoms that you leave behind without colliding with any of them. So if you watch cycles 2 and 3 again, you can see that I am leaving 8 atoms in the dust without crashing on the second movement.
Just, yeah, basically just breaking things off behind you.
And I basically conceded I needed 3 moves to be able to get things far enough apart to start something that would be optimal for the rest of the process.
And you make the Y shape first.
Yep, and then bond 3 gold into it, 1 cycle at a time. Boom,
Bond.
boom, boom,
Out.
out. So the gold that is made from the coppers that are dropped off at the 3rd location of that initial swing has no extra latency that it couldn't avoid. I found an idea where I could use a second input to get to 15, but I didn't act on it because, holy hell, I didn't want to try any more on this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I was really happy to
this
find
is
this.
This is already a really good solve. It is also optimal primary because
Okay, you beat me on the cost.
and next up is Bambi in 1st place with 16 latency and 1170 cost.
Major congrats. Awesome work, Bambi.
And this is probably Bambi's first win as well. So congratulations, Bambi, on getting first place, and well, congratulations, Biggie Mac, on getting second place as well.
Yeah.
And congratulations on both for getting min primary. Well, minimum in the tournament, that is. Minimum in the
Yeah, winning. I would say that with a lot of time.
Is there a calculation that proves that 16 is the lowest that you could do it then,
So,
maybe?
surprisingly,
proved
this
14
also
is-
uses a different debonding method.
Oh wait, is this the one station debond? This is what I tried to do for 14 and got so mad and just stopped trying.
It leaves this helix shape, kind of helix, pyrohelix shape in the center.
This is super similar to the 14 I had started, but I didn't want to try to finish it.
Mhm.
The stream doesn't load.
So yeah,
No, really, the stream doesn't load. Is anybody else seeing it correctly?
Yes, I am watching.
Yes, everyone is watching it, I think.
Well, shit, my computer is just bad.
oof, yeah, sometimes it's internet issues, sometimes it's Discord, but yeah. So
I really like the ending of this. It manages to assemble it from the single station debonder without using
Any spoilers in the stream?
Maybe this works for you?
If there's any spoilers in the stream, just the same. You know, because yeah,
spoilers for what exactly?
for I don't know, solutions to puzzles or something, or
No,
the
this-
story.
No, this is a custom puzzle, so you don't
Oh,
have to worry
okay.
too much. This is
That is
you
all.
can you can check out the
Oh, you're
Weeklies channel. You can check out the Weekly channel to see what we're
Okay.
working on.
We Toby, you're. It says you're playing Opus Magnum when you're just looking at someone else play Opus Magnum. Lol.
I just put up this, so maybe it works instead of like this stream.
And yes, it works. And holy shit, what is?
Yep.
This is the winner of a weekly competition.
Mhm.
Did you literally just separate all of those molecules at once?
Yep. Just
Very
Okay,
efficient.
That's
this
something.
the
It
thing
is.
people
I
are trying to
imagine the
optimize
sensor.
for this week is trying to
Uh,
build
is
one
this
output
machine
as fast as
working?
possible.
Is this machine working? And how do you keep track of all of those arms?
This is just high effort solutions.
This is 1 week with a puzzle that Bist created, and the solution was made by Bambi,
Mhm.
who isn't even in the call right now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Let me see.
Yeah, so you were
who's
talking
Magnum?
about the assembly process, Vicky?
Oh yeah, I was just noting that when I did the single station debonding where you immediately break it into as many pieces as possible, the gold that I got out were so far apart that it would take me another 5 cycles to get everything into positions. And Bambi managed to squeeze that number down low enough to where the output was the end result was a 16 cycle.
2, 3.
Yeah, that final bond is very clutch.
Let's see that again. 1, 2. Yeah.
Yeah, super impressive. I know that Bambi was really good at throughput, and now I'm also admiring their latency.
I wonder how they're performing. Well, we have we seen them perform in a cycles only solution? I forgot.
Yes, they were in high gloss finish. They made a 48. That was the debut. They showed up with a full throughput high gloss finish that was beautifully rounded. And I thought, okay, this person's cool.
Mm-hmm. I think they might have. Maybe for last week they did cycles as well, but I forgot what placement they got. I think it was at least in primary as well.
I'm not gonna also stream some of those because yeah.
Next up,
Let me not lose this opportunity, I guess.
Next up, it will be working on the. We'll be showing the showcase solves.
Yes.
First off,
there's
only one showcase solve. It's by Mr. Puzzle. This is optimized for as many 6s as possible in the solution.
I solution hacked it so it said 666
Jesus
cost, but
Christ!
obviously that didn't hold.
Yeah,
Once,
unfortunately.
and it would have.
Oh, it also didn't. The arms also got fixed. Oh.
Yeah. Well, that one was harder to pull off, but you can do weird overlap to get the same arm
Sometimes-
number.
Mhm.
But here we go, fellas. This is 66 cycles, 66 area, 665 gold, 66 instructions, 66
Okay, yeah.
width,
Right now I have
66
a
height.
And
Satan is a
overlap.
noob.
And it's
also
overlap because
really
this started off as a
connecting.
Is it called
Now-
Satan Solve?
it's called diabolical.
Also,
Oh, brilliant!
yeah,
That's even better.
very, very useful track.
This freaking
That track
Trying to
doesn't
put this
even add a
freaking-
6, it adds a 5. It could just be 660 without that track. It wouldn't have any less 6s.
But 665 is closer to 666.
Hit record a GIF so we can see just how far apart all of the equilibrium glyphs are
Oh.
to get that sweet 66 height and width.
Oh.
So is that at least get a track in the middle?
The
Just
six-
put there to add 5 gold to make it
There's
665 gold.
huh? But height and width. Oh. Yeah.
You can ever so subtly see a rhombus outlined
Yeah.
by equilibrium.
That's 66 width by 66 height, with only increasing by 2, like 4 area, I assume.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Nice. The 666 solve.
Is it also
Initially-
66 instructions?
Yes, it is also 66 instructions. That's why there's a bunch of drops for no reason.
Oh.
Oh yeah, a bunch of empty stops.
I
yeah,
also
very
like
good.
how Arm 3 just swings back and forth. I guess it
Well, we
also,
gotta hit that.
it also does that for
We gotta hit
area.
that 66 area.
Well, you know, the only thing that like would make I kinda wish that there was enough room to like make all the like excess drops spell out to 6 in the instruction tape.
Give it the high mom treatment.
Yes.
Yeah, next up, I have to close this and open up the area parser.
Wait. Duh. I need to read better. Okay, so one thing that I was wondering about while I was building this solve, and
Yeah.
while Bist continues the stream fetching the other thing, is like all of the silver is consumed at the same time to make the gold. But so I was like, wait a minute, how does that work? Because silver's blocking other glyphs, right? Because they're sitting on the outputs, but I'm sure in the overlap cycles document it says you consume. Well, how does that? I need to check that document because if you do it just ignoring the fact except for one. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, just like the fact that the atoms are blocking the outputs, but they consume anyway.
I think everything that's blocking those gets consumed first, and then they follow. If you look at it closely,
I'm gonna try having
like yeah, those spots get emptied, and then the gold pops up.
Yeah, it probably
I'm gonna-
consumes and then it produces. So it actually has. Yeah, that is interesting actually.
I'm gonna try and think up a way to get 3 purification glyphs to point at each other, so that the only way they could activate is if they all consume simultaneously, and see if they actually go or not.
Yeah, you can try that out. Experiment and tell us your results.
Cutting edge alchemical research here. This is the symposium.
But yeah, next up we have the area solves, which we will have more of because area is a standard metric. First off, we
Yay!
have Topple Mouse at 73 area. I'm not sure if this is an actual area solution or a latency solve.
It's
This
called
looks-
Piccolo, so I assume it's meant for
Do the
area.
first one.
Yeah, where's the Ritelli? There it is. Okay, there we go. I guess this isn't entirely area optimized, it's just a standard solve.
I'm just wondering what it's actually trying to do.
This
Like,
looks
is
like a
it-
standard. This looks like a standard solve. Like just I
Yes, this
solved the
looks like-
puzzle.
Might have just been
I
like
see
an
some
early
Steven.
solve
Oh, I was
submitted.
about to say I see some Steven and Joram 2 there, but it does extend at some point.
Yeah, it's not just a Steven pivot pistons.
Although Arm 1 could do that, and then Arm 2 wouldn't have to extend.
Yeah, true, but I guess that increases the cycle count.
But Arm 1 has plenty of time where it just waits. It doesn't.
Oh, well. Well. This is like just a... This does
Yeah,
look like just the initial solve that
Yeah, this looks like
is
I
being
just
shown at area because they only submitted 2 solves and this happens to be the better one for area.
yeah, this is one of those sort of like, yeah, just sort of solve the puzzle thing deals.
But yeah, next up we have a puzzle that's actually named a solution that's actually named area. At this one's 73 area, and next up would be Voidify in 12th place with 52 area. I see the equilibriums marking the...
I also see this was the very first attempt,
I
as
wonder
indicated by B1.
when it uses these. So these 2 are used here, and that one isn't used yet. So it... oh, and that spin uses those 4.
Yep. Very inefficient spin there. Like, if it prevented around like another atom that's like one away from the center, it wouldn't have to use those.
And it knows it's used there, so... oh, and it uses that part.
Yeah.
Oh, and it uses that part. I guess to save, to save space. Well, to leave space for
Why didn't you
to
use
move
the,
stuff
like,
around.
upper one, or I guess I just use that now again. So much extra area usage.
Yeah, Voidify said this was the first solve, and they used the rest of the time to play Ori on the Blind Forest.
Ah,
Which is,
understandable.
understandable.
There's other games in this.
Yeah, let me return the solution back to how it was.
Yep.
But yeah, with area, when you pivot, it kind of, well, when you just rotate giant items, you kind of take up a lot of area, so
Yeah.
what you have to try
It's
to do
interesting how it like has like it has like the shape and the space to like rotate more efficiently, I think, but it just doesn't.
yeah, the best way, sliding the
Like-
input would be better for area. Sliding it initially
Yeah.
and try, except the bonds are kind of deep into the...
Now talking about like the
Input.
second rotate, the second time it rotates the input, that's like I think that one could be done a lot more efficiently, and that's like the only time it uses those extra hexes outside the input, I think.
Mhm.
Like in the top right, I think those could probably be saved by just like programming it differently.
Yeah, this can probably be saved pretty easily in a lot of ways.
Those 4 at the top. Right there, yeah.
Yeah, since this loops, we probably don't need to finish watching it run, but yeah, this is easily improvable, and probably would be if they spent more time on it.
Mm.
Next up in 11th place is Bambi with an area of 42. Rhea. Okay, this is, with sliding, actually looking much more efficient. Area-wise. Oh, with the giant...
It's
pivot
looking
up
much
there.
more efficient, but it's hiding all its inefficiencies by the fact that it's using track instead of equilibriums.
Yeah, true. Well, it is already saving 10 area.
Yes.
This
So-
one's a lot faster than some of the later ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what all that track and the extra arm gets you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being able to have an arm that can basically go almost anywhere. Like have two arms that can go almost anywhere and just be fast that way.
Yeah, and let me check out again how it debonds.
It makes a wrong one at some point.
Yeah.
It just like takes like a corner out of the product and then
Mhm.
it takes like 4 off and then it takes the remaining 2 off. And then it does something different.
A really straightforward way of, like, debonding the whole thing. Unfortunately, the giant pivot takes up a lot of these tracks, so they filled it up, a lot of this area, so they filled it up with tracks so that it's useful.
Yeah.
From the layout, I guess I thought it was going to be a sliding, like, input method, but I guess this works too. Yeah, and since it loops, we don't need to finish watching it. Next up is Ebanov in 10th place with 40 area. Spam tracks. It's called Spam tracks. I wonder how that looks.
Similar to this last one probably.
That's actually not that many tracks.
Yeah, there's less track spam than the last one.
I guess it's a lot for an area
And an extra
solution.
arm.
An extra arm that so far has only been pivot. Oh, it has. Oh yeah, it's doing stuff now.
I'm just wondering if like that extra arm is actually necessary.
I'm wondering
Like,
if the extra
actual-
arm is actually doing anything other than sitting there and pivoting sometimes.
It might be a situation where like its base is like pivoted or swung next to it, but it doesn't look like it is. Like right now, like from what I can see right now, like nothing has like actually come close to the base in such a way that it wouldn't like it's not like it's in a spot where it doesn't contribute. I think if it wasn't there, it would be less area.
Yeah, the main challenge of this puzzle for area in particular is one, how to debond everything efficiently, and after that, it will be how to stuff as many glyphs as possible into the necessary unbonding space. So that there's no extra glyphs outside it. And with these solutions, we'll see how people achieve that. Activate in turn.
Also, is anyone still watching through me, or can I like stop the stream?
Okay.
I don't think you're being used anymore.
Next up is Mr. Puzzle, also at 40 area, except with a cycle count of 1420 instead. I see 2 equilibrium and 3 track. With 2 arms. Ideally, it'd be 1 track and 1 arm. 2 tracks with a single arm on it, and no extra equilibrium.
Yep. Although I don't know if that's actually possible.
One equilibrium on the right made me sad because I didn't need it until I had to take care of the core. Because the way I chose my layout, like I can keep going this way just fine until I have to, because I peel the outside stuff, but
Oh yeah, you
I'm
have
left-
like.
I'm left with a tree, and the
This is actually
most-
very similar to the layout I ended up with, but
Oh, that
I
is
found.
an interesting intermediate shape.
right,
Yeah.
and getting there. Oh, what can I unbond without taking up a bajillion area?
Oof.
Well, there's really only one choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crucial thing. There, yeah, I had the same thing with mine. You'll probably see.
Yeah, I actually have the same unboard with mine, and I ended up using that area differently though. Like, I ended up having different layout for the glyphs. I'm pretty sure I used like similar. I don't do it in this order, but I use a similar method.
Yeah, so apparently a lot of people had this intermediary shape, bonding
I mean,
3
not
from
this.
each
I didn't
first.
actually make this shape, but like I used like I undid the same bond in like with the same like annoying pieces in the way.
Yeah.
Like,
Bond.
although I did them earlier, so it doesn't actually end up with them being the only thing left.
So it doesn't feel that bad to spend
Yeah.
extra area.
Like, it's something I like sort of did from the beginning.
Yeah.
Unlike this sort of where it's done last.
Yeah, or almost last. Yeah, I really like the shape that. Well, it may not be pretty efficient for like actually debonding, but the shape looks interesting.
Yeah, like the three Ys connected together.
It was efficient until I got to the Y, and then I was like, well,
Oh no.
oops.
Whoops. Yeah. But yeah, next up we are approaching minimum area, well, pretty fast. But yeah, next up would be Cuckoo 52 in 8th place with 39 area.
Now this is making me still wonder if I actually hit minimum area or not. Because
Oh look, he's using Critelli.
I know that area I hit is not theoretically minimum. Because theoretically minimum would be 35?
Yeah, I thought the theoretical minimum was 35, isn't it? But I'll be impressed if anyone managed a 35.
Yeah, or even
Yeah.
like a 30. I wouldn't even be impressed by a 36 happening. But we'll see. I actually just gave me my score, didn't I? Whoops. It does still take some thinking to figure out why I gave away my score, but I did. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, you said you have a 37, right? Yeah, 37 is possible.
Yes.
I mean, it's probably kind of evident.
I
that
mean,
it's
I said I
possible.
would be impressed by a 36, so therefore I must have a 37.
Yeah, like most people, like looking at the solutions now, it seems very much possible that you can save like area by just reducing the amount of tracks you have. This one has 2 unbonders actually, which is kind of
Yeah,
interesting.
this one has 2 unbonders. That's an interesting choice. That's a very interesting choice.
These 2 unbonders can unbond it a bit more efficiently, except unfortunately just gonna waste the extra 2 area. But it might have been better than the option of swinging it, or like, yeah. I wonder how it debonds the first. Like, it does that. This one is this unbonder hasn't been used yet. I wonder when's the first time that one is used in particular. Like, if there's a specific reason for it.
That one might probably just be to get around the like Y shape they're already starting to be left with.
That part gets debonded off.
Well, they just like got rid of the Y shape by just sliding it over further.
I'm just peeling off the outside, bit by bit. This is the center. I assume that was the center atom.
Yeah, that was a center atom. Looking at it right now, and no center atom is used.
Next up is Goodbye Galaxy at 38 area.
Getting closer.
Getting closer. We're back to 1D bonder only, and four area for tracks and arms, with one extra.
Yeah, three tracks of one arm and an extra arm, and then one equilibrium.
That's not too bad of a Critelli, actually. It's social distancing Critelli.
It's an interesting way to do the Critelli, but yeah.
It works. It's just social distancing.
It's equally spaced by 3 hexes so it's still aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it's still an aesthetic Critelli. It's just not like...
Make sure to social distance. You got to keep 6 hexes away from everyone else. 6 hexes around you.
The like I generally really don't like area solves using Critelli as equilibrium.
Yeah, because it kinda can't tell and it doesn't start off with it.
Yeah. Like, I really don't like people doing that. Like, I don't like that as a thing happening. Like, they could have used the Critelli here as the equilibrium, but I'm glad that they didn't. I much prefer Critelli pointing out areas, pointing out spaces that aren't used for area.
Doing this will make it symmetrical.
That's actually what I did. Except mine didn't. Except mine still wasn't symmetrical after I did that.
Okay, Critelli shenanigans aside. I wonder how much of the track is actually is going to be covered by the copper at any point. Or is it just
I think there might be a situation where there.
Or is it just for more efficient movement? Oh yeah.
I think those two get covered. Yeah. That's actually the same with like my server that also has those 2 atoms sticking up there just to get rid of the Y.
Yeah.
And it also has
It kind of just fits
Mr. Puzzle's annoying Critelli. Since it has to say it in no Critelli, I mean equilibrium. It has the same like equilibrium there. That is also just like used up by pulling the input up to get rid of the Y shape.
Yeah, but you did say you have one less area, so we'll see which less area you have.
Yes.
Not next though, because next at 37 area already is 6th place username void. New solution 3 copy. We're approaching only 1 track, 2 tracks and 1 piston arm. Oh yeah, you are the only 38. Goodbye Galaxy.
It's always interesting how you like get like it seems like an area is like always like there's like the group of people who get like 2 extra hexes, and then there's like 1 person who is like 1 area over, and that is the minimum.
Yeah.
Like that seems to be like a common pattern with area soils for some reason. That it's like that it's very rare for people to be like 1 off.
I'm assuming this is this is the slowest out of a few 37 area cells we have, and I assume this is so because this uses less track. Looking at the cost of the other solutions, that is indeed the case.
Yeah.
This is just Jinyu's record backwards. Yep, that works.
Whose is this solution again?
Username void.
Oh, okay.
I mean, doing the news record backwards was one of the things I looked at, but
I mean, yeah, the thing about
it just doesn't.
the thing about using resonant crystal as an input means that you can just go look at the record for resonant crystal.
That's one of the ones I consider, but I just like it's just so bad for the glyph layout that like for the
Yeah,
layout
true.
of all the other stuff that you had like end up with like extra.
But you do get an idea of how to efficiently bond and debond the thing. But we'll
Yeah,
see
like
how
it's
looking at that may not be the best option.
yeah. Like looking at that, I got like a 37 layout with it. I just like looking at all my layouts, and I got like a bunch of 37s.
But it gets
And this was
decent
one of the
enough.
worst options.
It does get your solution at a decent enough area. Yeah. It kind of debonding wise, it gets the outside first, and I think it leaves the which 6 does it? I think it leaves these 6 last, a bit on the edge.
I thought about it as like taking apart a hexagonal piece of chocolate, sort of block by block.
Yeah. And your solution, it hasn't come up yet as well. So we'll get to see how you do it.
Which position are we in right now, by the way?
We are now in 6th place
Ah,
with username void at 37 area.
how much lower does it does it get lower? Does it get lower? We will see.
Patience, and we shall see.
Yes. I mean,
Okay, it has output.
some people might know already. Some people definitely know.
Yeah, some
Chris
people
knows already.
Of course.
I don't know if anyone else knows already, and if they do, it goes lower.
Next up in 5th place is Genius 42 at 2480 cycles instead of the 3200.
Yay, my first top 5. My
Yeah,
first top 5. I'm
congratulations.
improving.
Congratulations,
Congratulations.
Genius 42 for top 5. And
Same as Toby. Just slower.
Yes.
this is 2480 cycles compared to the previous at 3255 cycles. This has more track. I guess that contributes quite a bit to speed.
Yeah, you see the point where I thought, darn, it would be similar to Mr. Puzzles. You'll see, but then I'll use that area for something else as well.
Yeah, that 2 areas just used, but it's really close to the arm, so, well, oh, that part is also used.
There.
Yeah.
I put the Critelli there, hoping no one would notice.
I don't like that.
But then I thought, oh well, I might as well use it for that.
Yeah.
You know, I would like it better if the Critelli was like up like one up and to the left, and there was like an equilibrium there.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
I much prefer that.
There you go.
But that has to be cost.
It's like cost.
It doesn't affect the placement, don't worry.
True. I'm furious. You've destroyed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna return it to how it was. Yeah, let us finish.
It's fine.
Well, let's return it to action. Let's let it actually do one product first.
I still would like to point out that
the end in terms of bonding and unbonding towards the end.
Critelli is not equilibrium. And it is not to be used as equilibrium, because it is not equilibrium. Oh, Sam, sorry if I just like talked over Genius there.
So I have to actually, well, I don't know if I had to, but I used the silver as a thing to stop the thing appearing there.
Oh yeah,
as
input
what do you call it?
suppression.
Repressor.
Input suppression is really nice tactic.
And also I left it there till the end to make the final gold after everything else was done.
Yeah, that
It is
makes
not the
sense.
last serve to do this.
That is one up.
There you go. Thank you.
Let's watch it in fast motion for the second one, and we can probably move on.
Yeah. It's slow, but I thought 30. I thought 37's not bad. I thought 35 almost isn't possible. When if anyone got 36?
Yeah,
Well, guess we'll
37
find
is
out.
also 37 is already really good. But yeah, next
Yeah,
up
yeah.
we have Utopia, also 37 with a cycle count of 1936.
Oh, beat me by about almost 600 cycles.
Hi, Mom.
This is the most efficient 37 layout I found. I didn't find any lower area layouts. I just found a bunch of 37s.
Oh, that pivot. Oh, that's a nice pivot. Taking taking up no extra area. I like the triangle track. Oh. Well, that's an interesting storage space for that.
Ooh. Just tuck it right behind me right here.
And
There we go.
unfortunately, that is used a bit.
Yeah, that equilibrium needs to be there because of the Y shape. It needs to go up to debond. And also the like the output, like the product as it's being assembled is being used as an input suppression at the end
Yeah. That's
when
pretty
the
clever.
input gets pulled.
With how large the input is, input suppression is probably pretty easy.
Yes, it's just like
It's kind of like
yes,
Litharge.
but just
It's kind of like Litharge area, Litharge separation area.
yeah.
Yeah, that's two outputs. Bonding wise, yeah, I really like that pivot. It's really amazing how it takes up no extra area at all.
I mean, like when it does that pivot, the entire input is like shifted one atom up, right?
Yeah, the best place to pivot is like what you just did there, and I found that out as well on mine. I thought, how can I do this without going on the outer area? And you're right, it's sort of the middle, well, one in from the edge, the middle six. Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually it's one off the center. The best place
one
to
off the
put
center is
a
the
crystal.
best way to pivot a crystal. But yeah, next up we have 36 areas, starting with
Here we go.
Brother
Oh,
Mojo
no.
in third place. So congratulations to Utopia for getting fourth, and Brother Mojo for getting third. With 36 area and 25 cycles. Windows, what is this called? Windows 3.1. It's got 3 track.
It's got 3.1 track.
You know, I'm looking at just cost, and I wonder why a coming up solution is at 140 gold.
$140. How?
We'll see. I don't know either. Why is this called Windows? Why is this called Windows 3.1? By the way.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
It would have to be like
Brother Mojo is typing.
3 arms or something. The 140.
Okay. Yeah, Brother Mojo says it's a revision on their third design. Also, I think I remember seeing like gold and silver being bonded to the input somewhere. Oh no, it's bonded to there. Because the bonder is half axis. Yeah.
It's an indirect bonder.
Yep. That seems to be a trick you have to figure out for 36 area. Indirect bonders. Interesting.
Indirect bonder and purification area puzzles strikes again.
Except this time more people found it. Probably because there wasn't the option of, I don't know, recycling all the inputs.
I feel personally called out.
Or creating a bunch of waste atoms. Because that was possible in Calm Before the Storm. Well, it did make Calm Before the Storm more interesting, though. Yeah. Yes, next up is in second place at also 36th area with a cycle count of 2264. Jinyu. Jinyu area. Actually everything is full axis. So that's kind of a surprise.
That is a very interesting way to disassemble it.
I was thinking the same thing. That's interesting choice. Yeah, but I suppose it makes sense. Strip off the outer ones while you can first.
Yeah, it's makes sense to put it there. I don't know why it didn't occur to me. Or
I was just chomping it off and hoping for the best.
Actually, no. I think I did consider this sort of wonder placement once, but the wonder placement once sort of abandoned it again because it's so inconvenient with the where you put the track anywhere. Or at least I thought it was.
Because I thought initially I wouldn't bother this because I thought, oh, I can't bother with that. But then I thought, actually, it might be easier than one where you're building something because you start with something bigger and making it smaller. So in theory, it should get easier as you go along. Now, it didn't because it still overlapped at the edge and there's still problems near the end with the suppression, but got through them. But yeah, because the output is smaller than the input, it was, for me personally, it's slightly easier to approach than something where you're building something from one or two ends.
Yeah. True. It's
It's sort of
it's basically building an area solution backwards.
Yeah, and that makes it sort of nice because usually with area solutions, you run into all the annoying issues at the end.
So instead you just do it first now.
Yeah. Which is why usually when I make area serves, I usually start by not even working on the actual puzzle, but just making myself creating custom puzzles of the final product or the product missing the last bond and seeing how I can move that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good tactic to use for area puzzles. It's also
just
often used for
finding out.
cycles puzzles to reduce latency.
Yeah, it's sort of easier to do an area puzzle working backwards, and this puzzle sort of is backwards inherently.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
Which makes
90 gold. Yeah, next up is, as probably expected, Shadow Cluster in first place with 36 area and 1750 cycles. Copy.
Coffee.
That
Why
mean
is-
he tried it that many times.
Why is this 140? Oh, right.
No, it's got two arms as well. Wow. I wasn't expecting that.
And they're sitting on
Winner.
tracks.
He's
And no tracks.
I
Yeah,
can
I thought
calculate
to myself,
much
now, is
more
it possible to
possible.
have two arms and no tracks? And I can make it work, but this guy has.
Right, that's why it's 140 gold. It's meme
Yeah,
boy.
I was also considering using two arms, but
Yes, that is
I
10
just
gold
didn't find the
equilibrium
layout.
with. But yeah, this is indirect bonder, actually.
Again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because Jinyu's didn't really use indirect bonding,
Nope,
did it? But
Jinyu's
the
did not.
third place and this one did. Yeah, so it's interesting. There's more than one way to do it. But I suppose Jinyu's worked because he took off the outer ones first, so he didn't really
I
need
guess
to
I should have
do that.
looked into that deep on deposition more, seeing these.
Yeah.
Like I had
Oh,
I thought
that's
about
it.
what
I
it
like
was.
that. Like, let me see if it runs through it again. There was a bonding phase that I really like. Yeah, since these two are separate, I want to see how those are bonded on. So, it does that, and it bonds this on, and then it debonds that off.
Immediately, and then there's like
It's
Oh,
half
it just
access,
lists
but
it
it's a
there.
pretty easy half access. Well, easy to access. Easy to access half access. I like that.
Like you get like
That's a nice swing.
like you get it's half access, but you get like what 3, 4? No, you get like 4 spots next to it where you can grab. You get like almost everywhere. Actually, you get everywhere surrounding it.
Yeah.
Like you can grab everywhere around it, but not like the one spot.
Mhm.
I guess like I should have looked into
Oh,
that deep
yeah,
on
that. Just that. Really efficient copper handling as well. Just moving over to that side.
I originally just like discarded it because of like that one area between it and the input, and just like not being able to fill that. I guess should have just like accepted that.
Yeah, I
that is
guess
not-
this area is kind of necessary. It might be provable that 35 is impossible. I don't know. But with a
Or
lot of
35 might be possible magically somehow.
yeah,
Yeah, unless you can tessellate this one without using that what do you call it, the salter, which I mean, just looking at it, it looks impossible. But I mean, I could be
Yes.
wrong. Unless you can do it without using that, yeah, this would be the sort of layout to do it with.
without
I mean,
that's
this
a
one relies on the debonder being exactly where it is, and so there's not a glyph that can fill the one tile gap if the debonder is exactly where it is.
well, yeah, there is the
Yeah.
calcification that can fit there.
A useful glyph, though.
You can put calcification there, but sure, but like that doesn't help.
I should in the future just include calcification for all puzzles that don't even need calcification from the memes.
Yeah,
Also
a few puzzles
duplication.
have
Don't
had
forget
it.
duplication, and don't forget duplication as well. That's important.
Now, duplicate.
And also disposal for the 3 eye solves.
Now, disposal can come in useful, like a bit too useful sometimes.
Aww, but my 3 eye solves.
Disposals and sometimes.
Wait. I was about to
duplication.
joke about having the Van Berlo wheel, but that's actually useful too.
Van Berlo's wheel.
How is the
Well,
Van Berlo wheel
use
useful
Van-
if you only have methods?
Use
Van
Van
Berlo wheel
use Van
can
Berlo,
suppress
but don't
inputs.
provide like duplication.
So, like, if this puzzle had 2 inputs and you needed both of them for something, the Van Berlo wheel could suppress one of them while you process the other one.
Oh
Remind-
yeah, right. Yeah,
reminds
you
me
can
of Biggie
suppress
solving,
inputs with it.
Elemental dual setting where it just forever input suppresses the 3-atom input.
As would tend to be the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving. Oh, it finished solving. But yeah, moving on, we have something.
Actually, no, I kinda wanna see someone make a puzzle where like you have the Van Berlo wheel but not duplication, and the Van Berlo wheel actually gets used.
Dreamy proposed that as a challenge once. Make a puzzle with that exact condition.
Yeah. But yeah,
Berlo, no duplication required for some record.
moving on, we're actually moving to a different puzzle. "31 area resonant crystal." The current record is 32.
Nice! Who did it?
Shadow cluster.
Nice.
This is a new primary record.
Oh yeah, like because minimum
So it
height.
was 30, yeah, it was 32.
That's triangle. I like the triangle.
Yeah.
on the first one, the latency, my first one, I was going to call it Illuminati because it had a load of debonders, and it had like at each corner it had those the glyphs of is it purification or the other one, I can't remember, and had three of them at the corner, so it was like an Illuminati triangle. But unfortunately I couldn't get it to work, so sadly I never submitted it because it wouldn't work. But it would have been brilliant if I'd been able to do that, because unfortunately having things at three corners, it couldn't flick things out at three directions.
Also, this solve looks so much nicer than Genu's.
Yeah,
this is so much more aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
This is so like clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess because like, it uses I guess like the new thing that this does is use a second bonder.
Yeah, true. Since it's gonna use that extra
which allows it to just like just not have
overlaps, two like angle bracket shapes, extra two angle bracket shapes. So might as well fit in more bonders in there.
Although I think Genu's actually just doesn't like use that shape. It like uses some at the top as well, and then like a string at the bottom.
Yeah, Genu's and Genu most tends to do secondary optimizations, so that may just be a modification of another person's puzzle solve.
Yeah, and that's I know. I remember that I got a secondary on a campaign puzzle once, and then Genu just was like, actually that can be done better.
That happens.
It was like an area solve where like found exactly the same solve and just happened to code it better, and then Genu coded it even
that
better.
Happens all the time. Even within the tournament, like the winning solutions, Genu just comes in and says, "Oh, you can do secondaries better. Here you go."
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it for this particular puzzle. And
at least the primary I got is an instructions one, which means you can't actually secondary that thing easily.
And Shadow Cluster would probably be submitting this sometime, or maybe I could submit it for him if he doesn't have time to. But yeah, now it's time for the release of the next puzzle. It's by Haxton, Cranberry Glass. This is, the metrics are sum 4 and cycles instructions. Not cycles times instructions. Sum 4 is...
it includes the instructions, doesn't it, as well?
Yeah, it includes instructions into the metric, and also the other metric is cycles with the secondary of instructions.
What is this pure rejection going on here?
This is pure rejection.
Yikes.
This is
again
Haxton's puzzle.
Lovely.
I love how we had the throughput one, and then we just get two, we have the throughput one, right? And that one just isn't pure projection. And then we just get two pure projection ones. It is pure projection, but it doesn't have math. And then we just get two with math.
Yeah, this is Haxton's puzzle, so if you have any thoughts about the puzzle, you can DM him.
The medals aren't bad for this.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, sorry, I interrupted. Sorry.
But yeah, this is the puzzle for next week, and Haxton, you want to post it yourself, or should I just do it for you?
What was the secondary metric again? Cycles. Oh, with a secondary of instructions.
Yeah, cycles and instructions.
Oh, okay, great.
But yeah, that's this puzzle, and that should be all for this stream. So thank you all for coming, and
thank you very much.
Thanks for this. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, or whatever the phrase is last time. Bye bye.
Yeah, see y'all.
Keep it.